Have you ever wondered how Singapore, a small island nation, became one of the world's most prosperous countries? Let's journey back to the 14th century, when this little island was known as Temasek, a flourishing trading port coveted by surrounding kingdoms. But as the centuries rolled on, Temasek fell into decline and obscurity, eclipsed by other rising powers in the region. Fast forward to the dawn of the 19th century, where the stage is set for a man named Sir Stamford Raffles. This ambitious British statesman saw potential in the forgotten island of Singapore. In the year 1819, Raffles founded modern Singapore as a trading post of the East India Company, strategically positioned on the busy shipping route between India and China. This marked a turning point in Singapore's history, setting the stage for its transformation into a bustling metropolis. So, from a forgotten island, Singapore began its journey towards becoming a global hub thanks to Sir Stamford Raffles. But how did this trading post transform into a bustling colonial city? Under British rule, Singapore blossomed from a modest trading post into a vibrant, bustling city. The British established institutions that formed the backbone of today's Singapore. Schools, hospitals, and governmental bodies took root, creating a structured, organized society. The city's strategic location attracted a wave of immigrants, adding to its cultural diversity. Chinese, Malays, Indians, and Europeans all came seeking opportunities, contributing to a vibrant melting pot of cultures, traditions, and ideas. Economically, Singapore thrived. Trade flourished as the city became a hub for the exchange of goods between the East and the West. The growth, however, wasn't without its challenges. The specter of World War II loomed large, and the subsequent Japanese occupation brought hardships and suffering. Yet, it was through these testing times that Singapore's resilience shone through. Despite the trials and tribulations of war, Singapore emerged with a stronger sense of identity. Now let's delve into the pivotal period that defined Singapore's destiny, its road to independence. In the wake of World War II, the world was changing, and so was Singapore. The city was buzzing with a new sense of identity and a growing desire for self-governance. This was a time of awakening, a time when the seeds of nationalism were taking root. Enter Lee Kuan Yew, a charismatic figure who would become the country's first prime minister. With his political party, the People's Action Party, they championed the cause of independence, igniting the flame of self-rule in the hearts of Singaporeans. But the road was not smooth. In an effort to achieve this dream, Singapore merged with Malaysia in 1963, only to realize that the union was fraught with economic and political disagreements. 2 years later, in 1965, Singapore separated from Malaysia. And so, against all odds, the city-state of Singapore was born. But how did Singapore evolve from a newly independent nation to the modern metropolis we know today? In the early years of independence, Singapore was a fledgling nation with limited resources. The government knew that in order to thrive, they had to do things differently. And so, they set about implementing economic strategies that were bold, daring, and forward-thinking. They focused on developing manufacturing industries, a move that created jobs and bolstered the economy. But it wasn't just about manufacturing. The government also made it a point to attract foreign investment. They did this by creating a business-friendly environment and by developing world-class infrastructure. And as the economy grew, so did the cityscape. Skyscrapers began to dot the skyline, and Singapore transformed into a bustling metropolis. It didn't stop there. The city-state also developed into a global financial hub, a place where the world's biggest businesses wanted to be. Through strategic planning and sheer determination, Singapore became synonymous with prosperity and progress. So, what have we learned about the remarkable journey of Singapore? We've explored how this dynamic city-state originated as a humble fishing village, a mere dot on the global map. We traced the transformation that occurred under colonial rule, where the foundations for a thriving port city were laid, and a diverse population began to take root. We journeyed down the road to independence, a tumultuous path fraught with challenges, yet navigated with remarkable tenacity and foresight. And we've seen how, in a few short decades, Singapore has transformed itself into a modern metropolis, a global hub for finance, technology, and culture, defying the odds and exceeding expectations. We've come to understand that Singapore's story is one of resilience, of a people who have consistently risen to meet the challenges thrown their way, who have taken what they were given and turned it into something extraordinary. From its humble beginnings to its current status as a global powerhouse, Singapore's history is indeed a testament to the resilience and tenacity of its people.